Someone hates you, and you have no idea why. You didn't insult them, didn't take anything from them, didn't cross a line, you just exist. And somehow that's enough for them to treat you like you're the problem. The coldness is obvious. The sarcasm cuts. The way they look at you like you've already been judged and found guilty. You replay every conversation, analyze every word you said, wonder if you're too confident, too quiet, too much, too little. You start performing, softening yourself, trying to prove you're not whatever villain they've decided you are. But here's what psychology reveals: their hatred isn't a response to you, it's a response to what you trigger inside them. It's projection psychology at its rawest. And understanding this doesn't just free you from their judgment, it reveals something profound about human nature itself. So let's start. Number 1, you don't need them, and that's unforgivable. Some people are addicted to being needed. They've built their worth on rescuing, fixing, managing other people's emotions. And you don't need rescuing. You're not broken. You're not begging for their validation. You're fine without them. And that destroys them, because if you don't need them, they have no power, no leverage, no way to make themselves feel important. They can't save you, can't control you, can't make you dependent on their approval, so they hate you for it. They call you arrogant, detached, cold, anything to avoid admitting the truth. You're just not giving them the narcissistic supply they're hunting for. Number 2, they're trapped in threat-based identity. These people have built their entire sense of self around being in danger. Their nervous system is stuck in hypervigilance. The world isn't a place of possibility to them. It's a battlefield, and everyone is either an ally or a threat. When you show up calm, grounded, or self-assured, their brain doesn't register safety. It registers competition, because people with threat-based identities operate from scarcity. They believe there's only so much success, love, or value to go around. Your confidence doesn't inspire them. It activates their amygdala, the part of their brain that screams, "If they're winning, I'm losing." This is what psychologists call zero-sum thinking. They can't celebrate your light because in their internal economy, your brightness means their dimness. You're not doing anything to them. But your very existence challenges the story they've been telling themselves, that the world is against them, that they're the victim, that nothing good comes easy. You're living proof that's not true, and they can't forgive you for it. Number 3. You trigger their unhealed past. This is the one most people miss. They don't actually hate you. They hate the person you remind them of, a parent who was cold, a sibling who was favored, an ex who left, a friend who betrayed them. You're not that person, but your energy, your presence, your way of being triggers a wound they never healed. And instead of doing the work to separate past from present, they project. They replay the same trauma with you as the villain. They punish you for crimes you didn't commit, hate you for pain you didn't cause. You're not their enemy, you're their unfinished business, and they're too broken to see the difference. Number 4, they're defending their shadow self. Carl Jung identified a phenomenon where people reject in others what they can't accept in themselves. It's called shadow projection. Everything they've repressed, denied, or disowned about themselves gets projected onto someone else. Usually someone who embodies it freely. Maybe you're honest and they've been lying for years. Maybe you're free and they're imprisoned by others' expectations. Maybe you're successful and they've been making excuses. Your existence forces them to confront their shadow. The parts of themselves they buried because they were taught those parts were unacceptable. And instead of integrating their shadow, which requires brutal self-honesty, they demonize it in you. They call you arrogant when you're just confident. They call you cold when you're just boundaried. They call you selfish when you're just self-respecting. They're not describing you, they're describing what they're terrified to become. Or terrified to admit they want to be. Number 5, they're experiencing ego-dystonic dissonance. There's a painful psychological phenomenon that happens when someone's internal self-concept clashes with external reality. They believe they're confident, but they're actually insecure. They think they're authentic, but they're performing. They claim they're happy, but they're hollow. Then you walk into the room. And without saying a word, without trying, you embody what they're pretending to be. You're actually confident, actually authentic, actually at peace. And that creates what psychologists call cognitive dissonance, so severe it feels like a threat. Their brain has 2 options. Admit they've been lying to themselves for years or make you the problem. Guess which one the ego chooses. It's not personal, you're just the mirror they didn't ask for. And instead of looking at their reflection and growing, they're trying to shatter the mirror. Number 7, you're succeeding where they're failing and it's killing them. You're building something, growing, moving forward, and they're stuck, stagnant. Repeating the same patterns, making the same excuses, blaming the same external forces for why their life isn't working. And watching you succeed is unbearable. Not because they don't want good things for you, but because your progress is proof that change is possible, that excuses are just excuses, that if they really wanted it, they could have it too. Your growth forces them to confront their own stagnation. And instead of using that as motivation, they use it as ammunition. They tear you down, minimize your wins, find flaws in your success, anything to avoid the crushing realization that the only thing stopping them is themselves. Number 8. They need you to be the problem. This is the core of it. As long as you're the villain, they don't have to look inward. As long as they can blame you for their discomfort, their triggers, their bad mood, they get to avoid accountability. You become the reason they're unhappy, the excuse for why they can't move forward, the scapegoat for every unresolved issue they're carrying. It's easier to hate you than to heal themselves. Easier to make you wrong than to admit they're the common denominator in all their failed relationships. Easier to villainize you than to sit with the painful truth that they're the ones sabotaging their own life. You're not their problem. You're their distraction from the problem. So here's what you do with this information. Nothing, you do nothing, you don't defend yourself, don't try to prove you're good, don't shrink to make them comfortable, don't perform to earn their approval. Because people who hate you for no reason aren't interested in the truth. They're invested in the story they've created, and no amount of people-pleasing will change that story. You'll just exhaust yourself trying. Let them hate you. Let them be wrong about you. Let them waste their energy on resentment while you spend yours on building a life that doesn't require their permission. Their hate is not your burden, it's their prison, and you're free. The people who are meant for you won't need convincing. They'll see you clearly, they'll value what you bring, they won't punish you for being whole. And the ones who hate you without reason, they're doing you a favor. They're showing you exactly who not to waste your time on. If this hit, say it in the comments. I'll be sharing more videos